Ravagers. Large, hostile mobs added to Minecraft in update 1.14. Is there much to know about this rather intimidating mob? Well, let's find out. I can tell you straight away, if you're short on intel about this beast, it's a good thing you've arrived at this video. These creatures pose quite a serious threat, and the more you know about them, the better off you'll be when you find yourself face to face with one. I hope. Let's start off nice and simple. Ravagers are hostile, meaning if you get too close, they won't hesitate a moment to attack you on sight. They are also hostile toward wandering traders on Java Edition, and on other versions also hostile against villagers and iron golems. When near, entering, or in a village of any size, having the Bad Omen status effect, which can be given from killing any type of illager captain, this will trigger a raid to occur. Raids are in-game events where illagers suddenly spawn outside of a village nearby, potentially leading a maximum of 7 ruthless assaults given each wave is cleared, and your difficulty setting high enough. It's not until wave 3 you will have the arguable pleasure of meeting a Ravager, which spawns the same way. This is often where the trouble begins. Ravagers have a robust 50 hearts of health. That's as much as an iron golem, so yes, they are redonkulously tanky. And to put that into perspective, that's 15 full-powered sword strikes from a diamond sword to defeat just one Ravager. So only timing and patience will see you to victory when dueling these large, chunky foes. Another factor of many that makes the Ravager such a grave threat are their ramming attacks. On easy difficulty, their ram deals 3.5 hearts of damage, on normal 6 hearts, but on hard 9 hearts of damage from a single ram, which is almost enough to completely one-shot a player wearing no armor, which I would not advise doing when taking part in a raid. Let me make that very clear. Wear armor, very preferably diamond. Characteristically so, their attacks do indeed knock back all enemies. Ultimately, these deadly attacks can be performed as often as every second, provided you're close enough, so do make sure you stay on your toes. But to deal with this caliber of frequent damage for the versions of Minecraft that are able, shields are crucial for survival when encountering Ravagers. A successful block will not only resist half the ram's knockback, but has a 50% chance to stun the attacking Ravager for 2 seconds. This is a great time to land some free strikes or run for your life. Be mindful though, repeatedly blocking a Ravager's ram attacks will whittle down your shield's durability very fast. A single raid will more than likely fully break an unenchanted shield. But, big but, if a Ravager finds themselves below half health, they can get quite ferocious, as some of their ram attacks may completely ignore a raised shield, with the damage simply going straight on through to you. A Ravager's ram attack is commonly used in conjunction whilst they're running towards their target, exactly if it were a charge maneuver. But what happens between the chase and the ramming can be quite intimidating, if nothing else. Ever heard the saying, bull in a china shop? Well, it pretty much sums up observing Ravagers in villages. While they're in pursuit, if they come into contact with various certain blocks and or items, they will be destroyed. Some though will be available for recollection however. Kinda reminds me of that Spanish running of the bulls tradition, only in Minecraft. Ravagers also wield the ability to sometimes completely resist knockback effects, occasionally being able to do so repeatedly. If this happens even just once at the wrong time, it could easily spell death. Ravagers also own their own ranged attack, of sorts. After being stunned, they will let loose a violent roar, dealing a few hearts of damage to nearby entities. The roar also sends out a large knockback, which is more projecting the closer you are to the roar. Other Ravagers are completely immune to these roars. Illagers, although still affected by the knockback, are only immune to the roar's damage. It is possible to dodge the effects of a Ravager's roar, given you're properly behind a solid structure. Illagers owe plenty of thanks to Ravagers for any decent raid, as Ravagers are typically considered to be the primary threat, but that's not without undermining Illagers in the later waves of raids. And a Ravager's ability to call for spawned reinforcements mid-raid is also definitely nothing to undermine, but that's only on Java Edition. Assuming you successfully start clearing your way through waves of the raid, you will encounter more Ravagers. However, a number of variables heavily determine when they may appear. This includes which difficulty setting is active, the level of Bad Omen status effect, the most recent patch that's affected their spawn rate, and most notably, the edition of Minecraft you're running. So being unable to go into specifics, I can tell you if your raid sees several waves of forces, it's likely you'll be confronted by most variants of mounted Ravagers. This includes a Pillager mounted on a Ravager, a Vindicator mounted on a Ravager, and one that deserves extra caution when facing, an Evoker mounted on a Ravager. If a player for whatever reason doesn't take part in defending a village from these raids, a lot of responsibility no doubt falls onto Iron Golems, which can actually defeat unmounted Ravagers with relative ease in a 1v1 scenario. Ravagers do actually show some signs of basic wits, like remembering to stay clear of things that can hurt them, like berry bushes and other dangerous obstacles. They also do not attack pillagers if an arrow accidentally hits them, but pillagers will not attempt to fire their crossbow if a Ravager is directly blocking their view from the target, so skeletons could learn a thing or two of these guys. Additionally, Ravagers can actually attack over fences, and even through doors. Sometimes. Killing a Ravager will give you a debatable unfair amount of experience, equal to killing just 2 zombies, but they're also the only mob in the game that naturally drops a saddle upon death. This is a guaranteed drop too. Not to mention, despite their mass and size, Ravagers are able to enjoy a good swim. And the occasional cart ride. Please feel free to leave your suggestions for the next episode down in the comments, and a link to this entire playlist will also be available via the description, just for you. So before I vanish, as usual, this episode cannot end without the trivia question. Are a Ravager's idle sound effects an altered idle villager sound effect?